Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? It's Sports Roundtable, and we are live from our virtual studios overlooking the great state of Georgia. I'm your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and thanks for tuning in. Happy SRT Wednesday. Happy hump day as we are about to crank it up and take you around the world in sports. Yes, my main man Hancock couldn't make it in today, so I got my main man Maceo coming in. He'll be in around 7:15, and also I got my guy doing the Braves report. You know the Braves coming up, so I got my main guy Bob Lancaster, who is a contributor of Sports Roundtable, will be coming on talking about the Atlanta Braves and how the season will be going. So we will get that around 7:25. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you through some things up until the end. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into some hot news. Yes, sir. The hot news sponsored by our good old friends Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Big Easy Grill is the best place to go for some new Louisiana seafood. Yes, the Louisiana seafood is the great taste. Louisiana seafood in Georgia. Sound like Oxmoor Run, but it is good. So going over to Big E's Grill, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Let them know the SRT Sports Roundtable sent you. Get your 10% discount off 25 on meals, $25 or more. Yes, sir. Waiting on everybody to come on in. What's up, Des? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Yes, the first topic. Well, let me go ahead and I guess I can redo what I talked about last night, in which I talked about my response to the Kirk Cousins signing. And I mean, simply put, you have some people who's down with it, who's good, who's cool with it, who's pumped up about it. Some people are like, man, what are they doing? And I've heard if you can give Kirk 180, you could have given Lamar 200. I mean, I've heard everything from everything, but I surmise this. When you asking for certain things in life, when you're wishing, praying for certain things, sometimes you may get it. And I think we have wished, prayed, and did all these things after we saw the play calling and the quarterback play of Desmond Ritter. And I'm pretty sure we was at a point where we said, I'd take anybody over Desmond Ritter at this point. Anybody, but not Taylor Heineke, but anybody else. And if Desmond Ritter is our starting quarterback in 2024, I'm not even going to the game. So I know Arthur Blank will not be trotting out, or Raheem Mars will not be trotting out a Desmond Ritter the start of the 2024 season. If that's the case, the Falcons have no clue. Well, you got what you wish for. It may not be exactly what you wish for, but sometimes in wishing and praying, you got to be a little specific. The prayer and the wish was anybody other than Desmond Ritter. Well, it is Kirk Cousins. Captain Kirk is here. So there you have it. So my thing is you got to be careful what you wish for, what you pray for, what you hope for. Let me see what Dez got. Let's see, that wasn't. You're right, Dez. That was play falling. Yeah, absolutely correct. So yeah, so that's what we got. We got some people are on board with it. Some people are still trying to come around to the fact that we got, and this is what I don't understand. Matt Ryan has been with the Atlanta Falcons in about 3 years, but his name continues to come up. So you say, well, we have a Matt Ryan 2.0 or another version of a Matt Ryan. Well, we do know Matt Ryan got the ball to the playmaker. So I don't know if you people are saying that to slight Matt Ryan or to slight Kirk Cousins, but the man took us to the Super Bowl. Him and throwing to 13 different receivers during the 2016 season. So I mean, it is. I think it's a good thing. I think we have to sometimes let it sit, let it play out, and when we have, if you can get Kirk Cousins back healthy, and he maintains and solidifies the same play that he was the same playing level that he was at before the injury, I think the Falcon fans will be pleasantly surprised in how far we could go. So I think that's gonna be my little rant on the Kirk Cousins thing. So Des, anybody in the chat, y'all got anything to say? Let me know. We can put it up. We can talk about it, chat about it. So my main guy Maceo pull in and get in. So, but other than that, man, we want to appreciate all of the people who continues to follow and rock with SRT and Sports Roundtable. And yes, it's been a heck of a ride and all those things. So we really appreciate it. Let me check the Braves score for today and see if I can get into some Braves action. Let's see what Bob had to say. As I see him in the waiting room waiting, they needed someone to utilize the weapon they have on. Yeah, I agree. They needed somebody that can do that. Yep, and Desmond Ritter definitely was not the guy for that particular position. The problem I have with the whole thing is that Arthur Smith, Awful Smith, named the starting quarterback before competition even started. I mean, that's like getting the job without an interview. All right, let's see what Cuz says. Does Jerry Jones know free agent started? Yeah, I think that'll send back in the win. They lost out on Derrick Henry. They lost out on Saquon, and they lose Tony Pollard. So, yeah, maybe that's why Hancock couldn't make it in today because Jerry Jones sitting on his hands and not making any kind of free agent moves or anything. But Maceo will be on in a minute, so maybe Maceo can answer that. All right, let's see what Dez said. Most fans have no clue what they want. Most want excitement and fandom. I agree. Boom. That 100% correct. And to that point, Dez, let me go ahead and chop this up real quick. Most fans are, you're right, looking for excitement and looking for the rhythm of, they're looking for the Michael Vick experience and wanting that experience. And sometimes the homegrown story is not so cool. You know, everybody was chomping the bits on wanting Justin Fields to come back home. Sometimes coming back home and it's a good story, but sometimes the stories does not end well. They're not suited for each other's. You know, sometimes it's just not a good fit. So, I mean, we got who we got. I mean, at this particular point, what can you do? The man unsigned the contract today. I think today is the beginning of the new season. So Kirk Cousins is $50 million richer today. And what I mean by that, his signing bonus was $50 million. So I don't know if it was direct deposit. I don't know if he went down to the liquor store and got it. I don't know how he cashed it, but he got 50 million bangums today as he signed his contract to be an Atlanta Falcon. So yeah, boom, boom, boom. Hallelujah for that. So yeah, I think that we have to get out of the Cinderella story of sports. Let's leave that up to March Madness. Let's leave the Cinderella story in college basketball. Let the Cinderella story play out in this Cinderella type deal. So, and this is the thing, Des, and I'm glad you brought that up. People have to remember that most folks who are now Falcon fans are not really original Falcon fans. They are Michael Vick fans because they didn't even watch football until Mike Vick became a Falcon. So now that they are Falcon fans and Vick is gone, all they know and all they have to compare it to is the Michael Vick era. So when you see a quarterback that stands in the pocket and throws the ball, that's not something that brought them enjoy and liking football. So that's kind of where we are right now. So when you continue to talk about Justin Fields and coming home and doing this and that, and maybe he can run the ball, he can do this, he can throw, he can pass, he can run. Yeah, that's you again. You have got hooked on that Michael Vick experience and don't understand the true definition of sitting in the pocket, spinning the ball, 3 steps, drop, get the ball out to your best receivers or your best weapon, and let's go down the field. If you didn't grow up on that, then you're not going to be a fan of that. So that's kind of where we are right now. That's kind of where we are right now. As I continue to sit and wait on my main man Mayshow to jump in here. Oh, there you go, right on time. I see him right there. All right, cuz yes, I already got him down as the ball of the week, but we got ballers and busters coming up. Yes, facts. All right, Brand, I'm finna bring him on in. Yeah, my man. Yeah, straight off the second workout for the day.
Woo! What it do?
Yes, sir.
What it do?
I already know. Yes, sir. What's going on, bro? Glad you can make it, man.
Hey, man,
I appreciate
I'm up in here, dog. I'm up in here. What's happening?
Yes, sir. Chiming in, man. We at the point right now. I was in my hot news talking about. I know you want to hold off on this until tomorrow, so I'm gonna do all the talking. You just nod yes.
What's that?
No, the Kirk Cousins coming to Atlanta. Atlanta got they thing, and what I was just explaining to everybody is that some people are on the fence about it. Some people are good with it. Some people are trying to get. And I was just making this point, Maceo, and correct me if I'm wrong. Most Atlanta football fans, let's say 40% of Atlanta football fans, were not original Atlanta Falcons football fans until Michael Vick became a Atlanta Falcon. And once Michael Vick became Atlanta Falcons, the only thing they have as an experience is the Michael Vick experience, the excitement, the running of the quarterback, the hypeness, the this and the that, and all this. So they never saw a Steve Bartkowski back in the day get in the pocket and throw the ball to Alfred Jenkins, Alfred Jackson, Junior Miller. They never saw William Andrews catch a screen pass out the backfield and go 80 yards. They never saw that. So most people who are on this Justin Fields or you should have offered Lamar Jackson $200 million bandwagon. If they're on this bandwagon, that's because I can guarantee you that the only football that they have to compare to is only the Michael Vick experience. And the Michael Vick experience has spoiled most Atlanta fans.
Oh, Ooh.
And that's why the Kirk Cousins signing doesn't make sense to a lot of fans because he's a pocket passer. And look, the first thing they say is coming off an Achilles. Well, he's not a running quarterback. So he's 3 steps and the ball is out, and that's what he does. But if that's not how you grew up watching football, that's not what made you fall in love with football. How can you understand that? You don't. You
Now,
don't even understand that.
now, so I've asked everybody this one simple question. Like I said, I'm not going back and forth for nobody. Everybody has their thought process. Everybody has their opinion,
Right.
and that's cool. But this is all I ask everybody: did the Falcons not sign the best free agent quarterback on the market?
Not only did they not sign it, they started the free agent. They started the frenzy off. They didn't waste time doing it.
I mean, so it's crazy because I mean, if you just go back and like listen to what Raheem Morris said that day at the combine, and he basically said, "Look, I wouldn't have this job if the quarterback play was solid in Atlanta." That told you right there all you need to know about the plans of the Atlanta Falcons in the postseason. They were going after whoever was the top quarterback in this free agent class. Kirk Cousins was the top quarterback in his class. And so, and when we talk about, the Achilles, okay, people acting like the Achilles injury from like 10, 15, 20 years ago. Aaron Rodgers was set to come back and play football this year off his Achilles. So if y'all don't think through back channels that before the Falcons made this deal that they had a doctor look at his Achilles, they just not giving him 180 million, 100 million guaranteed without doing their due diligence. It don't work like that.
Right.
I just think the biggest thing here, and to your Mike Vick reference, everybody wanted Justin Fields. Most fans here wanted Justin Fields. He's mobile. He's from here. He, all these different things. But like I keep asking people, why hadn't anybody made a deal for Justin Fields? And I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's a perception of Justin Fields, Instagram wise, Twitter wise, and social media wise. It's also a perception of him NFL wise. And that's what matters. The 31 other GMs, owners, head coaches didn't see a value in trading for Justin Fields. People having arguments all, a month ago, 2 months ago, about you can give up a first, you got to give up a first and all these things for Justin Fields. And I just kept asking why. I mean, just really, why would a team give up something like that for Justin Fields when Chicago you're gonna cut him?
Right.
It's the worst secret in the world that you're taking Caleb at 1. You're not keeping Justin and Caleb. So if I'm a GM, I'm like, dog, I'm just gonna wait till you cut him. So I just think the city, and to your point about Mike Vick, the city is just eager for an electric quarterback because of the Mike Vick experience, not understanding that Justin Fields don't fit this system. Justin Fields, and listen, I know that, like I said, I know his dad, I know his trainer, great kid, no doubt about it. He's still not ready to play the quarterback position from the pocket. He just not. He's not ready to run a West Coast offense. 3 out, 5 out.
No, not
He
really.
just not ready. Because if he was, people would trade for him. People would give up assets for him, and they hadn't. So that tells you the market is the market.
Yeah.
You see all these other people get signed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. So I mean, don't be mad at Terry or whoever making the decisions up there. They looked at this roster, and everybody keep talking about how this roster is loaded offensive. Bijan, Drake, Kyle Pitts. You just bring in Darnell Mooney, deep threat guy now.
Mm-hmm.
No, you need a quarterback who can get them the football
Exactly.
and not improvise and always on the run. You need somebody ball out.
Exactly.
That's what Kirk Cousins is. So I mean, you know, I just got to tell this funny story. All the while we was in Vegas for the Super Bowl, and once you nationally, every time you tell people, you from Atlanta, the majority of people said, "Man, the Atlanta Falcon fans are the worst fans in football." To a man.
Mm.
Anybody say that talk? Man, y'all from Atlanta? Y'all cheer for the Falcons? Man, y'all got the worst fan base in the world. And if you just go up and down your timelines, go through Twitter, just listen to conversations that people having, bro. And that's why I've logged off social media all because I got kicked out the gym early Monday morning because I told Coach Ball that Kirk Cousins was they gonna make the announcement tomorrow. He like, man, get out of here, get out of here. So I got kicked out the gym Monday, but I mean, it was going to happen. Like, and Falcon fans, again, they prove time and time again, you cannot make this city happy.
Yeah.
Can't make this city happy because you signed Justin Fields. Justin Fields start out slow or whatever. You're gonna boo him, then y'all gonna start talking crazy about him. So Falcon fans, and that's why people always say Falcons gonna Falcon. Falcon fans gonna Falcon fans. But
Yep.
all I want them to do is keep the same energy when Kirk Cousins is throwing 350, 400 a game. He's
Yeah.
taking the team up and down the field, scoring
Get that
touchdown.
same energy, right?
All of
Yeah.
a sudden, Kyle Pitts is, like, oh, where that come from? Now Drake London is getting the ball in spaces he's never gotten the ball. So I mean, just keep the same energy. Like I say, I logged off social media all week. I'm gonna stay
Mm-hmm.
off it all week because some of the stuff people type, like I say, yeah, some of y'all don't believe some of the stuff y'all type, but y'all go off. Y'all just go off.
Yeah. Before I get into my Braves report, I'm gonna make my one more point, and I made a little late night video on my little 2 cents. And correct me if I'm wrong, Maceo. Isn't this a case of be careful what you ask for, be careful what you pray for?
Oh yeah,
Because you asked and said that I take anybody over Desmond Ritter going into next season,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And when the church say, and when you hear the pastor say, in your prayer you have to be specific
Be specific
in
about it.
what you pray for. You can't just say I'll take anybody over Desmond Ritter, and then when he give you something that's better than Desmond Ritter, then why are you crying now?
Why you still ain't satisfied? Still ain't satisfied.
I mean, it's a simple case of please be careful what you ask for. Please be careful what you pray for. So
Like you
it
said,
is what it is.
be specific in it, because all of you said, man, we got to get a quarterback.
There you go.
When they got a quarterback, and now you still ain't happy. So again,
Hello, the best quarterback on the market you got.
they didn't go sign Jameis Winston or Sam Darnold or they got Kirk Cousins, who was
Right.
arguably before his injury last year was playing the best football of his career.
No doubt.
Just go look at the numbers. Just go look at them. But people gonna say, "Oh my God, it's not about the numbers." Da da da. Well, okay. So again, y'all continue to move the goalposts. I bet you this though. I bet y'all still gonna watch the games. I bet y'all still going down though. I bet y'all still gonna tailgate. Again, until y'all hit people in their pockets, they gonna keep doing what they do. And ain't nothing y'all can do about it. So go off, whatever.
Yes, sir. There it is. My main man, Maceo, man. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. That last minute thing, Hancock hit me. I said, all right, you already know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
They say, yeah, go get Funny Man. I said, yeah, but he know his stuff though. And matter of fact, I know you know your stuff so well that I even made a phone call to my main man, Mr. Bob Lackhouse, so we can talk a little Braves because I already know how you are about them Atlanta Braves, Maceo, and bringing them on in all the way from the is it Woodstock, Kennesaw?
Oh, you're close. It's Dallas, around that area.
Dallas, okay.
It's all the same. It's all the same.
Yeah, all the way from Woodstock, Dallas, Georgia. My main guy, Mr. Bob Lancaster, who is our SRT contributor for the Braves Report. Bob, what's going on, bro?
Excited, man. Getting closer and closer to that opening day, and you know that's my favorite part of the year. This is kind of that dead time. Gonzaga hasn't been playing good. Good chance of getting in, but that's about the only thing I get to watch until it's between football and baseball. So the Hawks tick me off every 5 seconds, so I can't watch them.
Yeah, I know. All right, Bob. Before we get into baseball, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to express your insight on what me and Maceo just got through talking about. And I know I probably got a little hype talking about this fan base and the Falcons and how they're never satisfied. It's always the quarterback fault and never look at the. But anyway, go ahead. I want to get your thoughts on the Kirk Cousins.
Maceo pretty much said what I would say. No one is ever going to be happy in this city, but man, win one playoff game here in Atlanta, and that guy's going to be the new messiah of Atlanta football. I mean, to me, bringing in Justin Fields would have been exactly like when we bought Trey in, instead of taking Luka. It's the safe pick. The safe pick. It's what everybody's gonna like. But deep down inside, Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Justin Fields, just like Luka at this time is a better basketball player than Trey Young. I loved it. I was so excited to see that they didn't play the safe pick this time. I was just, because I knew they were going to overtrade for Justin Fields. It was going to be a bad deal. They would have to give up, draft capital that they don't need to give up at this point. When you can sign Kirk Cousins, it doesn't cost you no draft capital, and now you can build around him. Desmond Ritter's still not the answer. They've got to. He's got to go. I think I mentioned up a chat. They need to draft a quarterback here, someone to sit behind Kirk Cousins that's not in danger of. It's not Desmond Ritter's fault. I mean, he was kind of pushed into the situation, because there was no options. I mean, it's just the Falcons' time is now. That division is so weak. I mean, Tampa Bay is, they've done what they can do to, keep their core intact, and they've made the moves. But this is the single most exciting offense in football right now, top to bottom with weapons, playmakers. I mean, and Arthur Smith didn't know how to utilize that, and that's why he's no longer the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and that mistake is not going to be made again. I mean, and Kirk Cousins is the type of guy that's been around playmakers and knows how to utilize the weapons of what he has available to him. And I guarantee you, he's not going to overlook, any of those playmakers at all. I expect a couple of those guys to have a monster season. Kyle Pitts, I really think he's going to be the most improved player in the league this year, just because Kirk Cousins utilizes the tight end as good as any quarterback in the league. And coming off his injury, I think for the first few games, he's really going to lean on the running game and he's going to lean on the tight end game until he really gets his feet back. But don't disregard him for the long passing game too. Some of these guys are going to have some monster numbers this year on the offensive side. I want to see them draft. They need to draft protection for him. Continue along that way. Maybe add a couple more pieces on the defensive side. But you gave up none of that capital to bring him in for the money they brought him in. Did they overpay for him? Someone was going to give him that money. I mean, it didn't matter if the Falcons did or anybody else. Someone was going to pay Kirk Cousins for those years and experience that he brings to the team.
All right, Bob, before we get into the Braves, I do have a confession. I am confessing to you on March the 13th that I didn't know that your sports analytical expertise went beyond the baseball, the bowling, and college football.
Yeah,
I'm so impressed with the way that you broke this Atlanta Falcons thing down, and something inside of me just told me and said, "Well, you know what? Shoot, let Bob give Bob a chance to give his insight on how he felt about the Falcons and Kirk Cousins." And Bob, I'm sitting here taking notes as you speak.
And the thing is too is it's funny enough. I was a massive basketball fan before I ever became a baseball fan. I'm a diehard Seattle SuperSonics fan. And so I was a season ticket holder for a long time. I was really into basketball before anything. I mean, my favorite athlete of all time is Steph Marbury. I was a huge Georgia Tech fan growing up. And it was actually through my love of Georgia Tech that I became a huge Braves fan, because I started to like Atlanta sports for some reason. I never thought that I would end up living here now that I'm here. And so, but the TBS thing obviously helped me become a Braves fan. But yeah, I've been a huge hoops fan longer than anything. So yeah, if it's on, I don't even care if it's curling. If there ain't nothing on TV and it's sports, I'll watch it.
All right, Bob, real quick, let's go to the Braves. It's spring training, and the Braves have made some moves in the offseason and didn't make some moves. My first question to you, since you've been from Seattle, I need to know about this Kelenic kid that they got out in left field. Loads of potential. All they talk about is the potential of Kelenic.
Yeah.
But we all know what potential means.
I hate that word.
You really hadn't done anything yet. So are you on the bandwagon on potential for our Braves starting left fielder, or can you give me a little more insight on what Jared Kelenic will bring to the Atlanta Braves team this year?
It was definitely a change of scenery needed for Jared. For some reason, he got into a real distrust situation with Seattle general management, which is not a shock, because that's an absolute disaster over there in Seattle when it comes to ownership, general manager, how they treat their players. I mean, they just did a survey thing with the MLB, and Seattle Mariners ranked like near the bottom for pretty much clubhouse amongst the players of their own organization. But the thing about Jared is he got kind of put into this the highly touted prospect. He was drafted in the Mets organization actually, and then was traded over to Seattle. He started to hit last year and was actually doing really, really well. And then his mind got the best of him, and he ended up punching. I think he punched a wall or something like that.
I think it was the cooler.
Yeah, cooler wall, something like that. Broke his hand, and kind of really derailed the season for him last year. He's got potential. I mean, he's young. That's the other thing. We got a 25-year-old, highly touted prospect that right now hasn't really come into that. But let him sit next to Kevin Seitzer for a year and then see what he has to offer. They've really, really overhauled his swing. He struggled in spring training pretty badly this year so far. But again, he's retooling his swing to a guy that was voted not just coach of the year in the Braves franchise, coach of the year in MLB, as a hitting instructor, one of the best around. Kevin Seitzer is just the guy for him. Defensively, he's a real good defensive left fielder. What the Braves need to do for him, though, is cannot platoon him. He's not a guy that can sit and then not play every day. And there's some people that are able to be a role player, that they know that role. He's not one of those guys. He needs to play every day. And I think, that they made that decision by not carrying, really any extra outfielders right now. They have one extra outfielder that they've made the decision that he is going to be their everyday outfielder right now. So I expect realistically from him, I would love it if he hit 260, gave us 20 home runs and 70 to 80 RBIs in that spot. But the thing about it is he's not expected to be, the savior of this offense. We have those guys. So this might be the best place for him to, grow into that potential. But, I've seen just as many major league busts of guys that are supposed to be stars, as guys that do fall into that, hey, they are the guy when it comes to that type of potential. He's definitely, underperformed with this potential, but again, he's never really had a shot to take that job full time. So we'll have to see what he does.
All right, I got two more questions. Then my next question is, do you trust the Braves pitching going into the season? And can you see a scenario where we still can snatch up a Trevor Bauer or a Blake Snell right before the season or during the season or right before the deadline?
We don't need them. We have, and a lot of people may argue with me at the Dodgers, we have the best pitching staff in all of baseball, and it's not even close. Not even close, hey, Joe. 1 through 4. Spencer Strider, you've seen him this spring. He's added a curveball, and right now he is straight unhittable. As I thought he was really good last year, he got no Cy Young love. And I think he's about 10 times better this year. And that curveball is straight nasty. So he's overtaken Max as the ace, I think, in this staff. So, right there, you've got two aces that, to utilize. You bring over Chris Sale, another trade that I absolutely loved for the Braves. Not because he's the greatest pitcher, but because he has postseason dog experience. And that's what the Braves really, really need as a starting pitcher, because we've seen Charlie get hurt last year at the end of the year, and he's that veteran guy for them, but he's gone down hurt at the end of the season for us. So now you have that postseason dog in him, guy that has the experience, wins in the postseason, gives you innings. A lot of people were like, oh, he gets hurt all the time. He really doesn't. He doesn't have a long injury history. Was he hurt last year? Yes. But it's not like he's hurt year after year after year. He's older, but, it's not like we gave him a 10-year deal. It was a 3-year, we gave him that extension, and which, again, I thought was the right move, too, that we give him an extension. But he's going to really surprise. The really question that we have, fifth starter, it looks like Rodrigo Lopez is going to be that guy. I'm thinking they've kind of been stretching him out from a bullpen guy for the White Sox and moving him into the number 5 starter role for the Braves. And I think they sent down Smith-Shawver. That kind of solidified that that number 5 spot is kind of open. I think it'll be between him or Bryce Elder. But now the bullpen is absolutely the best bullpen in baseball. They are going to be fun to watch. You thought last year was good, where when we had 2 or 3 guys that went down. Now we've got those guys back, and we've made trades to make that bullpen even better. And I think you give those starters, give us 6. We aren't losing 1 to 2 run games this year. It's just, as like I said, as good as the pitching staff as I've seen. And the minor leagues, if someone does falter, we've got, AJ Smith-Shawver ready to go. They just sent down Hurston Waldrop, and Hurston Waldrop is, I always give you my guy that I tell you to watch out for. Hurston Waldrop is that guy. He will be either that ace I don't think Max Fried's coming back. So I think he'll be in a few years that number 2 guy behind Spencer Strider. He just has all the tools as well. But he really needs a year of AAA, maybe even a half year before they bring him up. I thought he was going to make the roster, but I'm really glad that they aren't rushing him. No need to rush him either. So, but yeah, this is as good a team. I really thought everybody, on the writers and everything would give the Dodgers the nod as the best team in baseball, but they also agree. The Dodgers, you can build yourself a super team, and I always tell this about super teams. They need at least a year or two as a team together before you really gel with each other. And they've added so many free agency pieces. Their pitching staff is a real big question mark over there in LA. Shohei can't pitch for them this year. So,
Nope.
They got a lot of question marks over there. And so, I think that's the biggest thing for them is their pitching staff. Offensively, I mean, it's the murderer's row. I mean, I've never the Braves have a really, really good offense. I have never seen an offense like the Dodgers have. There's just no weakness in there, but they are going to have to overscore games to win, to win 100 games this year. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs. The Braves are going to be in the playoffs. It would take a massive disaster for the Braves not to do that, but they're the favorites. I mean, and as well as they should be.
Okay. My last question, I'm going to ask you this question for me and Maceo, because I'm pretty sure Maceo want to know the answer to this as well. We see teams like the LA Dodgers, New York Mets, New York Yankees spend ungodly amount of money to build their team, to get pieces in place where they can compete for a World Series title, regardless of the tax situation, the luxury tax or the baseball tax or whatever the case may be. What's the hesitation for the Braves or Liberty Media with them making all of the money that they make in NASCAR and Sirius Satellite, the satellite radio business and things of that nature? What is the hesitation for the Braves not putting themselves in that position to where we go all in to make a play? For an example, if you wanted to go out and snatch up a Blake Snell to complete your run for a World Series title for this year, and you got the money, why won't we do that?
Well, I mean, first of all, numbers, business type of thing. That's my specialty. I mean, that's what I like. About it. Sports business is what I went to school for. It's what I love. And a lot of people, to address the first thing, you talk about revenue and stuff like that. Revenue, the Braves are bringing in a lot of money. We've seen that they're a publicly traded company, but they're not profiting. I mean, they lost $45 million in profits last year. They not a lot of people know that not only did they own that team, but they own the battery as well. They own all that property in there. So they're not making profit. We're still, we're still a team that's not profitable. Now, that being said, we're a lot more profitable than a lot of teams, in the league because of that, and because they own Formula One, all those extra things that they have. But I think the reason why you're not seeing those big splash signings like that is because that's not what Alex Anthopoulos does. He's been here 4 or 5 years now. We've never made that big splash. I mean, we didn't give our own guys a big splash money. Why would you give? Why is he going to give someone else that type of money? Again, he does what's best to not handcuff the team. We're over that, the luxury tax. We got to pay the luxury tax this year. I mean, and we're way over. This would be the second year, so we've got to pay a bigger penalty. So we're over that luxury tax. He's never been afraid to go after the guys that he thinks are the best fit for the team. And he probably just don't think that, that financially wise, what they would have to pay a Blake Snell would be what might be the best fit for the team. Blake Snell, another thing that Alex Anthopoulos isn't big on is paying guys past their age 28 season. He wouldn't do it for Freddie Freeman. He's not going to do it for Max. He's not. He's always going for who will give me the most value at the youngest point of their career. There's a reason he went to Ronald. There's a reason he went to Ozzie at 21, 22 years old and locked him down for long term, because he knew by the time that they got to their 28, 29, he's not going to be able to afford them. You knew Ronald was going to be a megastar. He knew that. So when you come to when you come to his age 28 season, we're talking Ohtani numbers, maybe. I mean, Acuna may be a 500, 600 million guy at his age 28 season when he comes up. And I guarantee you he's going for the bag this time. So
definitely.
Yeah. And so it's just not the moves that he makes. I don't think it has anything to do with ownership. Ownership has never, as far as I know, and the sources that I have never said no to him. I mean, if he's gone with, hey, we need a little bit of extra money to make this thing happen, they've never said no. And clearly that, that's obvious with them being over the luxury tax. I mean, you see some of these teams where ownership is just, hey, this is, we can't do this. We can't go over luxury tax. They realize that the fans are packing that ballpark, and, it's, and they got to keep a team that's packing that, because, Braves fans aren't any different from Falcons fans. If we start losing, attendance will go down the drain. There's especially in baseball season, there ain't no one sitting out 90, 100-degree baseball time to watch a team lose every day. It's just not going to happen. But so we'll always stay competitive with him, and we'll always rotate it around. My only scare with the Braves is that we now we got to build that farm system back up again. We're in the era where those guys that we had stacked up in the farm system they're all prayed for the Braves now, So and we have no trade chips no more. So, your next deal that you got to make to bring someone in has to be either free agency. So you may have to overspend, or you may have to go get a guy like Chris Sale, where, it may not have been the best pitcher on the market, but all it cost us was a young shortstop that was never going to play in our system. He was never going to take over, second base from Ozzie, and then Arcia. He was never going to get that job. So why not move him for a proven starting pitcher? I was just reading, the name that I had targeted that was Dylan Cease, but I was literally just reading before I came on that he's close to finalizing a trade for the Padres. So I think that's one big name that now, as far as a trade person going. But I just I don't see the Braves overpaying that. I really think that Snell is going to go to the Mariners.
Okay. All right, Bob. I got to switch it over to the facts report. Got Smitty on the line holding. If you want to hang on, you can hang on. If not, then I appreciate it. Just let me know what you want to do as I bring Smitty on.
I'm good. If you want to leave me here,
right.
I got to flip the light on though. It's getting kind of dark outside.
There you go. Good deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's all y'all what y'all been waiting for. Here he is, the man of the hour. Not only do we call him Antoine Smitty, now he done changed his name. 10K Smitty is in the building, baby. 10K Smitty is in the building. We doing our fast report, and man. My first question to you, Smitty, is what was the feeling like when you first got the news that Terry Fontenot finally got a chance to do his job and he got his guy? What was your first thought? What was your feeling when you first heard about the news?
I wasn't shocked at all. I've been actually calling for Kirk Cousins since last year.
You have. We got receipts on that. You have been pumping Kirk Cousins from day one.
Yeah, and I knew it was a possibility, man, because you look at the quarterback market is not that strong. This quarterback class is pretty strong at the top, but you're going to have to play a king's ransom to move up the board. So the wise move is to go get the veteran guy to go along with these weapons and to kind of guide them and help Zach Robinson, new offensive coordinator, build this offense, because he's also going to be key to Zach Robinson, because Zach Robinson transitioning from a passing game coordinator all the way up to an offensive coordinator. So that's a big move, and you need a guy that knows the system, that you really don't have to explain that to. Helps that helps the offensive coordinator see what's on the field and what the defense running. So it wasn't a surprise to me, and I think to me it was an excellent move. I didn't like the money, but hey, you got to pay to play.
There you go. Smitty, since we were talking about Zach Robinson, Kirk Cousins being in the system, things of that nature, can you kind of explain to my listeners and your listeners the importance of familiarity and already knowing the playbook, and already having the verbiage while he's coming in? Go ahead and kind of explain that to the listeners for me.
It goes back to the Sean McVay tree, Joe Gibbs and those guys, and really the same thing Arthur Smith tried to implement. But this to me, and Maceo knows this, he played wide receiver. When you switch from a zone blocking scheme to a spread offense, spreading out, it's just totally different. And the verbiage is the same, but some of the routes are not the same. So if you look at what they have to go through as an offensive coordinator to learn this in the film room, that is what is going to be key. So switching over from a zone scheme to a spread offense, you're probably going to have more athletic offensive linemen. You're probably going to have maybe two tight ends, maybe a fullback / H-back. It's just so many variations of this offense. And I just think they had the perfect person there for it.
All right. So to the folks who's not on board yet with Kirk Cousins, what is your message? Look, Smitty, I put a message out last night. I had a late night stogie, and I was sitting there like, let me give my two cents. And so I want you to give your 2 cents for the people, because remember, Smitty, you got the receipts. We've heard time and time again how some of the Falcons fans were saying, I'd take anybody over Desmond Ridder. Yeah. I just need a better quarterback. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now you got a better quarterback, and you still not happy. So to the fans or to the people who are not necessarily 100% 2 feet in on Kirk Cousins, give them your message.
Well, I'm gonna just break it down like this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And to those out there who are not buying into Kirk Cousins and still on the Justin Fields train, just let me explain something to y'all right quick. When you play the quarterback position in Maceo, you know this too. You got to learn how to process while you're on the field. You got to learn how to anticipate throws.
Stop making sense. Stop making sense.
Hey, Maceo.
Stop making sense.
Right or wrong, you got to be able to read defenses.
Stop making sense.
You got to be able to call audibles on the line, and you got to be able to come through in the clutch. We have not seen that from Justin Fields yet. He still has growing to do. Kirk Cousins has went through all of that. He started his career behind RG3 in Washington. He's been through all that. So y'all can look at the record, look at the numbers, but at the end of the day, every offense, the coordinator run their offense different. So just because of what he did in the past, it's not going to happen when he's right here. Because for one, he has way more weapons that are going to take a lot of pressure off him. And I think Bijan Robinson is the key to that. So trust me, it's about processing on the field. Kirk Cousins does that well. Sit back, enjoy the ride, and trust me, they got the right guy.
Well, Smitty, I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to take up most of your time on your faculty report, but I do have to say this. So when we move forward in the future, you have another reference. I myself played quarterback as well. I myself was taught when I get to the line, the reason why you stand there before you even go up under the center is to read the defense before you even put your hands up under the center. You look and you process that first. It's called pre-snap processing.
Right.
In case you have to call a timeout, in case you have to turn around and tell the running back, hey, look like he blitzing. I need you to step up in this. Whatever the case may be.
Right.
So
And Mazio know.
pre-snap,
You better know that safety.
pre-snap
You better
reading
know.
the defense is very, very important. So now I'm not sure I'm not sure if we've ever seen Desmond or Taylor Heineke go up to the line and just without just going straight up on the center, just calling the cadence or whatever. I never saw them really just assess the field pre-snap to see it looking fine. What first of all, you got to identify Mike, middle linebacker people. That's what Mike.
Yeah.
Then you got to find out where's my strong safety. The person who's running free, strong safety, free safety. Where are they? Are they in the cover 2? Are they in the single high? I mean, you have to identify these things. So, I mean, again, Kirk Cousins has gone to the school of you're not going to play for Kyle Shanahan or Mike Shanahan at the time and not know how to process and read defense. You just not going to be able to do it.
Big facts.
And Smitty, one more thing. There is no way in hell, I don't care how many playoff games you have won. I don't care if you never won a Super Bowl. But ain't no way you're going to be the 4th highest paid player in the history of the NFL without knowing how to process.
Right.
Without knowing how to read defense. It just doesn't happen.
Yep.
All right.
See, that's what they don't understand. You got to understand with Justin Fields, man, he's one of those guys, he's going to pull it down the run as soon as he missed that first read. You're going to see that a lot. So if he get past that first read, y'all in trouble. If he can't get past that first read, y'all in trouble. So it's just simple things like that they don't think about. They think about him just breaking loose and running down the field, but it's more to a football play than that, man. Come on.
And if he really did his pre-snap read, he would have known that the first read wasn't gonna be there anyway. So you should have already gone on the second read and third read from the snap. But anyway, let's get back to your Falcons report. My next question is this: I'm finna say the Braves because I see Bob still here. But since the Falcons have signed their quarterback and they got a receiver, made it a nice receiver. That should tell you why we didn't go with Justin Fields just by looking at the numbers of Mooney from last year. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But so we signed a receiver, we signed a quarterback. So now I got all of our picks. We got 8 picks. We getting an extra 3rd round pick from Jaguars. Question to you: if you got Dallas Turner available at 8, if you have Joe Alt from Notre Dame available at 8, if you have Nate Wiggins or Cooper DeJean available at 8,
yeah, they're gonna be there.
Who do we take at 8?
It's tough, man, because I'm looking at offensive tackle because Jake Matthews getting long in the tooth, and last year he looked kind of old. Caleb McGarry is inconsistent, so Joe Alt would be a pick if he's there at 8, but I'm thinking he may go to Los Angeles or New York or somewhere like that. But in my heart of hearts, love Dallas Turner as well. But Rome Odunze, you need that number 1 receiver. You need to finish out this receiving core. Like I said earlier, you got to pay to play. You got to put up points in the NFL. When you're going against these top guns in the NFL, you got to be able to score points. Falcons only scored 18.9 points a game last year. Not going to cut it. So when you go 27 to 30 points a game, hey, you in the ballpark. Because guess what? You play Patrick Mahomes, guess what he going to do? Try to run up the score. So you got to keep up with him. And I know we got to get out to the quarterback, but there are some decent edge rushers in the 2nd and 3rd round. I think the Falcons can find to come in and fill those spots. And I think, Rome Odunze would be my pick.
let me go back. Let me add a couple of names to that. So we got Joe Alt,
Dallas
Cooper,
Turner.
Dallas Turner. I'm gonna take Aduze out because I don't think he'll be there. I'm gonna put Malik Neighbors in there also with him.
No, Malik gone. He gonna be gone by then, I think.
Okay.
I don't know at 8. I don't think so.
Tennessee ain't passing on him. No chance.
Tennessee just signed Calvin Ridley.
They just signed Calvin Ridley.
Their wide receiving core is dead.
It is.
Yeah, Hopkins getting old. Traylon Burks. Yeah, he ain't been that we thought he was gonna be. So
Malik Neighbors might be there. Neighbors might be there because we know Marvin going 4 to Arizona.
Uh-huh.
The next team that probably need a receiver. Ooh.
San Diego just cut Mike Williams.
Roma Dunze going to San Diego. I mean, I just San Diego, LA.
Los Angeles.
I don't know why I want to say they belong in San Diego.
Yeah, that's what we grew up on. So they San Diego.
Yeah, they belong in San Diego. Roma Dunze going to Malik Neighbors be there. 8.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm all right, Smitty. Malik Neighbors, Dallas Turner, Joe Alt. Who you got?
Out of those 3, I'm still going receiver. You got to get that playmaker. I'm sorry.
You got to get the playmaker.
I'm sorry. You got to.
Okay.
Smitty, I think because they signed Kirk Cousins, I think now they changed the whole draft.
You got to protect him.
I think so too.
I think they got to go tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to go tackle because we got a 2-year window.
Yeah.
And this is the deepest receiver class we've had in a long time. Brian, you can come back and get Brian Thomas Jr.
Move back up first round. Yeah.
I mean, if he's gonna be there, but now that you signed Kirk Cousins, you gotta protect him.
Gotta protect him.
So Maceo, you going Big Joe Alt, huh?
I'm going out. I'm going out. It just you cannot make that your number one priority now, dude. You $90 million on the table.
So he play on the right side to Jake Matthews league.
Boy, you go and put him in there, and you see how fast Jake Matthews, if he can catch on. Hey, Jake, get out of here.
I don't think they're gonna take that $23 million cap hit though.
Hey, you did bump him over. You get over there.
Yeah,
you get over there.
Yeah, that was his natural position. Anyway.
Joe Alt is he's a big guy who can protect.
Gigantic human being.
6'9", 325. Jesus
Lord,
Christ.
have mercy.
Ooh, Lord, have mercy.
Day one, get over there. Day one, get over there.
Day one,
get over there.
Yeah, I thought Alt was going to be the guy. Who I thought pretty much, but until I saw Dallas Turner at the combine, and I was like, ooh, he would be really, really good in Atlanta.
Very sexy. Very sexy.
I said that Joe Alt not getting past the Chargers or the Titans.
Ooh.
Who doesn't want a good lineman? I mean, that's very possible.
Yeah.
Woo.
And okay, one more name to throw at you, Smitty.
Right.
At number 8, Chris Haynes from UConn, the guard.
Mauler, run blocker. I could see him in his offense, but I'm satisfied with Bergeron and Chris Lindstrom. So
okay,
I wouldn't.
All right, maybe second round. Okay.
No, I wouldn't touch a guard to like the 4th round, to be honest.
All right.
Because they said that guard, they're just adding depth at that position.
All right, cool. All right, so my number one question, and I'm pretty sure all the fans' number one question. Do you see Kirk Cousins here in year 4? He would have already gotten all his money. He got $50 million. Did he cash his check at the liquor store today? Because he got $50 million today. Did he go to the liquor store, or was it direct deposit?
I don't know.
They wired that to my boy. He good.
Oh, they wired there. Okay.
He good.
Hey,
He good.
I think I did see some black SUVs on MLK, but I might digress.
Him and his wife somewhere right now at Coles getting it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting it in at Coles.
Does does Kirk Cousins make it to year 4 with the Atlanta Falcons? Or that depending on
It depends. If he's holding up his end of the bargain, I could say yes, but since there'll be no more guaranteed money, that's a big if. But we'll see what the Falcons do if they draft the quarterback in 2025. Then we'll know exactly where they're gonna go.
All right. In your scenario, do the Falcons take a quarterback in this draft or they wait till next year to sit behind Cousins?
There's a possibility this year. If Penix falls down to the bottom of the first, which I highly doubt, they could get a Mike Penix at the bottom of the first, top of the second. But outside of that, I don't see them taking one.
Okay. My last one is is there an injury update on Kirk Cousins and everything? I know it's closed door, behind the door. I know the Falcons they do diligence, but
yeah, we won't know that. He got a press conference going on right now. So but we won't really know nothing about that injury from the doctors probably until tomorrow or even Friday. So they couldn't talk to him before today. But we'll know something by Friday, I think.
I think Maceo touched on it earlier. I guarantee you, with that kind of money, that even Dr. Seuss done looked at that injury.
Bro, dude, they flew somebody out. They got the medicals.
Yeah,
they got the medicals.
And did y'all see the video that he put out about him moving around on that Achilles, trying to go side to side? Yeah, he's been working out. So they had some kind of idea how far along he was.
Dude, they black ops, baby. It's black ops out here, man. They sent them people out there, like you said, black SUVs. It was like cloak and dagger, G14 classified. They took a good look. They bent it, they twisted, they did everything because they were not signing him to this kind of money and making this type of commitment without knowing
if they don't know what's going on.
He's healthy. That he's gonna be ready for day one of training camp. They not doing it. They're not crazy.
All right, Spirit.
Do you think it's best they bring in a rookie or a veteran to back him up?
So I think you bring in a rookie because I really do believe that they are going to. They keep saying it, and I believe them. They are going to take a long look at Desmond Ridder because we know this more than anything. Whenever a new coaching staff comes in, they think they are smarter than the coaching staff that just left. And they are going to sit there and take a long look at Ridder and say, you know what? It may be something there. Maybe something that this is third year, still learning. I mean, we don't like to talk about it, but we're going to say it. They're gonna say, look, his level of competition, at Cincinnati, he ran a. I mean, dude, this is how they talk. He ran a popcorn offense, and now we're gonna try to ingrain him into this West Coast. They're gonna see what they can get out of him. I think Heineken stays around for a minute, and if Ridder can't, he can't cut it, then you'll go Cousins, you go Heineke, and of course Ridder gonna be your third string / scout team /
practice squad.
He'll be out here. He'll play whoever he'll be that quarterback for the week. He'll be Jalen Hurts. He'll be Dak. He'll be who. So
I said it, man. In Kyle Shanahan's offense, I can see Desmond Ridder being much better than he is in Arthur Smith's offense because
I think we can all. I think it's safe to say Arthur Smith was in over his head.
Oh yeah.
I think we all can agree with that. Now he was.
I said that from day one. I said, ain't no way.
H.O. been saying that for 3 years.
I say no way to hell. A dude who dad been paying for his football fees all through life.
Right.
How are you offensive genius? Now,
That's what a 2,000-yard back can do for you. Just keep it real.
Yeah, all right, Smith. You got a question in the chat that's on the thing now.
I think Joe Milton needs a lot of development. He got a super strong arm, but I think he needs a little bit more development as far as what I said. Exactly. If you look at that Alabama game, he couldn't even throw the ball across the street.
A lot of speaking of a backup name, a lot of one guy who's kind of been ignored in this whole thing because of a devastating injury. I mean, Jordan Travis. I mean,
that's a good.
Senior
yeah, that's a good.
That's a good play.
Yeah, by low, but we saw what he can do when he's healthy. I mean, he's pretty electric quarterback. I mean, he took a Florida State team that had no business clearly being where they were, and made them up until his injury, a national contender. They would have never won the national title, but I mean, they were in the conversation. Yeah, I was going to ask Smitty, who do you think is going to benefit the most offensively from Kirk Cousins?
Kyle Pitts. If y'all know Kirk Cousins, he loves his tight ends, man. He loves it.
TJ Hawkinson so mad to death right now.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson
hey, Maceo, you remember when he was in DC and he had Jordan Reed when Jordan Reed could play?
Yep.
Jordan Reed was getting to the money, baby. He was getting to the money.
Yeah.
Never had a better year after that either.
Yeah. So Kyle Pitts, watch. I think he gets probably 80 catches, a little bit over 1,000 yards, and probably double-digit touchdowns because Kirk Cousins is not going to be scared to throw the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, Christmas came early for Kyle Pitts. There ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah, and it hasn't been official yet, Smitty, that Kyle Pitts is gonna give up his number 8 to go to 84, or what's the deal?
He might, because he wanted 84 anyway, but Cordero Patterson had it. So he might switch over with no problem. He won't even. He probably won't even worry about that $10,000 check.
Yeah. Now, how does this help Bijan out of the backfield having Kirk Cousins? Does this get Bijan receptions a little higher than anticipated in his offense?
This helps him running wise, because if Kyle Pitts, if he turns to the monster I know he can be, he gonna open up the middle of the field and Bijan Robinson gonna run wild and free like he in the middle of African jungle. So
we finna stop all this trade Kyle Pitts talk now, huh?
Oh no, you won't hear that no more. You won't hear that no more.
All right, better corner prospect, Cooper DeJean or Nate Wiggins?
That's a good one. Major convinced me last week when we talked about him being a hell of a receiver. So I say Nate Wiggins, if I know that, because if you got wide receiver skills still and you playing cornerback, you can pick off anything in there, anything.
He gonna catch it.
Just as Ed Reed, he was there 12 years. He could pick off anything, any part of the field. He can come from one side of the field to the other, pick off anything. And if you get that in the Nate Wiggins, hey, that's a home run.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas, this is about 8:15. Smitty, you got to roll, or you gonna hang in there with us?
Yeah, I got to roll, man.
All right, Smitty. Well, let everybody know what. Go and check that press conference out and give us some. Write down some notes. Let everybody know where they can find you on YouTube.
Yeah, find me on Smitty Sports Machine, man, on YouTube, and Fatboy Slim _21 on Twitter. And nice to meet you, Bob.
Nice to meet you too, bro.
I love your thoughts on the Braves, man. I agree with, I was watching, man. I love your feedback.
There you go.
Maceo, you my dog. Tell Glaze I said, what's up, man?
Hey man, Glaze gonna be called Thomas tomorrow. He's gonna be super emotional, dog. I feel bad for him.
Why is that?
Hey man, I'm just saying, dog. You'll see tomorrow. You'll see tomorrow.
Hey, he ought to be happy. We got my boy Terrence Matthew over there at Morehouse now as the coach. So
we got Matt.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. That's my dude.
That's what's up. All right, Smitty, man. I sure appreciate it, bro. Thanks
No
for
doubt.
thanks for joining, and I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, bro.
No doubt.
Yeah, there he is, Smitty Smith. Is my guy. All right, fellas, Bob, you gonna hang on in there with us. I appreciate it. Now it's time for baller, busters, and boss stop. But before we get into that, I do got to get Maceo thing on the Nick Saban. The Nick Saban comments about the NIL and the college football, where it go, how his wife talked about all they worried about is how much they gonna get paid. How you can't develop kids no more. Are you buying into that, Macy? Are you buying into you can't develop kids no more with the NIL sitting dead in their face, front and center? Can you develop men?
I buy it 300% because every kid now, every kid, 5-star, 3-star, Park All-American, everybody thinks they're entitled to something. If you're a 5-star kid, especially a quarterback, I mean, it's a going rate for you. I have 7 to 8 good friends that are college coaches that are looking for opportunities elsewhere, because when they go into living rooms and they talk to families now, the first thing that's being asked is, how much money can I get? What is my kid worth? A particular quarterback of a major university last year won one big game, played decent in this big game. He went into his head coach office, him and his dad went into the head coach office on Monday and wanted to know about NIL opportunity. They should be making more money than what they're making. So, yes, a lot of your old school coaches, the Nick Sabans, it's why Roy Williams got out. It's why Coach K got out. These guys see where college athletics is going. And it's partly all of our fault, because we've always said, hey, the coach can lead, the kid can lead. Coach is being compensated, the kid should be compensated. Now, we didn't say compensate the kids millions of dollars. We didn't say that. But what we did say is the kids need to get something. It's amazing when we go cover these games and you see these kids come in, they got $10,000 luggage. They got Rolexes. They I mean, the jewelry, like they're already professionals. You know,
Carson Beck done bought a Lamborghini.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot is being said about that. You know, Caleb Williams, the last 2 years made almost $10 million at USC.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the tide has turned. And I mean, it's turned where a lot of this stuff, I mean, we always knew a lot of stuff was done under the table, but it's Front Street now. And again, when you have a coach, you have a program, like I know for a fact that Kirby will stop recruiting a kid if that's the first thing you bring up. We gonna get to that. We're gonna get there. But if that's the first thing that comes out your mouth, Kirby Smart will stop recruiting you. He will stop recruiting you, because again, you have all of these uncles, you know, these AAU coaches.
Mm-hmm.
They're all asking for the bag. It's two families that I helped during the recruiting process, and they was like, "Hey, I mean, what are we worth?"
Oh wow.
I'm like, y'all are not worth what you think you're worth, because I mean, you can see a Shador, you can see a lot of these kids that are like getting it, but parents and the athlete don't understand that, you know, hey, you hadn't done anything of value. Like Why if I'm forward and you the third string wide receiver, why am I giving you a truck? You know,
Yeah.
why am I giving you $50,000? Like, don't nobody know you. But
Mhm.
it's become such a thing that I'm telling you, when you talk to a lot of college coaches now, they like, dude, this crazy. Cause like what some of these people are asking for, I mean, think about it. Loxley, Coach Loxley, the head coach at Maryland, he talked about how like third string running backs, kids that are probably third stringers, are asking for $100,000. This is where we
Mm.
at. This is where we at today with college
Yeah.
athletics.
Yeah. That's sad. So let me get before we get the ball the buses again, let me go to the question of the day. Speaking of NIL, since they've been doing under the table, now it is they can ask without fearing to get in trouble now.
Yeah.
Should Reggie Bush get all of his Heisman stuff back?
No.
Oof.
No.
Man, I
And,
disagree.
I only say no because there are recordings of his dad. See, this all they had to do. It was just simple. See, when you take money, and this is the game. Remember, my first job in college was a runner. I was a runner for agent. That was my first job in the business. When you take money and you know you're not signing with said company, you got to get the money back.
Mm.
You got to get the money back. Dude, this company that Reggie's dad took from, they got him on tape, wiretaps, everything. He telling these people, man, dog, I'm gonna give y'all money back. But they should have just signed. Now, if you weren't gonna sign with these people, tell them. Tell them. I know two players for the company I was working for. They pulled up on a certain first round pick before the draft because he was trying to double dip. They took the Bentley, they took the black diamonds out his ear, and they took the Jesus piece from around his neck. They pulled up to him at a restaurant and were like, "We need all of that back right now."
No.
Bruh, took all of it. Took all of it. So in Reggie Bush's case, it's like the Chris Webber thing. Dude, y'all take it now. If you taking money and y'all got a agreement or whatever, you
Mhm.
gonna give whatever back. Dude, if you not gonna dog, you gotta give back $600,000, dog.
Yeah.
Dog, you signed for 40. $600,000 ain't gonna hurt you. And then
Mhm.
Reggie Bush daddy, come on, man. Why you talking to people on the phone? What are we doing?
Here's the why I disagree with you. How much money did USC make off of Reggie Bush? How many of them jerseys did they sell in that college thing where people bought it not because it was a cool number, because Reggie Bush wore it? And that's we brought up Chris Webber and the Fab Five. In that documentary, they said the same thing. We walked in there. We saw how much of our merchandise was being sold. They wasn't buying it. They was buying it because that was our number, our money, our stuff. And the other thing is the dollar bills didn't make Reggie Bush play like he played when he in his Heisman or his USC career. At that point in time, he was the best college football player in the game, and that's why I'm taking awards away. He was the best player in that time of area. He was the Heisman Award winner, deservingly so. Take the wins away. That's one thing, but to take the personal achievements away and take someone's Heisman Award winner away when damn well the NCAA and the USC profited just as much off of Reggie Bush as whatever he put into his pocket. He made his worth to me. I do agree with you on the NIL stuff that now everybody's trying to get their money in the pot. But yeah, when it comes to Reggie Bush, I've never agreed with it from day one, whether or not NIL existed or not. So, it's just, again, you want to take wins away because they violated NCAA. That you can do that. That wasn't they did break the NCAA rules. And I mean, I guess you could go further and say, hey, he shouldn't have been on the field to get those personal accomplishments that he did. But again, they made so much money off some of these guys that it's just ridiculous.
But the one of the biggest mistakes Reggie Bush made is when he did the cover of Dub magazine in college. He got the SS. He talked about his Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie, your mom and dad, like everybody knows, your mom was a teacher. Your stepdad was struggling. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
You're on campus with two cars, two very nice cars. Reggie, we know you getting money.
Yeah.
We know you getting money,
obvious.
Reggie, and you should be getting money. But you
Yeah.
got to tell your stepdad, don't be talking to people on the phone.
I agree.
Don't be talking to people on the phone, dog.
Yeah.
Let's all get this money together, man.
There it is.
And again, all buddy them was like, dude, just give us our money back, dog. We'll destroy the evidence, man. Listen, we just need that's all the money we got in the world. That's $600,000. That's all the money we got in the world. And now we bankrupt, and you just signed for $40 million. Man, you better give me my money, or we gonna call 60 Minutes. And that's what they did. They called 60 Minutes on Reggie Bush them. So come on, man. Come on, Reggie.
They called 60 Minutes on. All right, fellas. Now it's time for some ballers and busters. Bob, I'm not sure if you prepared for some ballers and busters, but ballers, busters, and bar stop, because we had to kind of switch it around a little bit. But you kind of familiar with it because you listen to the show a lot. So we go jump right in with the ballers and busters here. Let me get my notes up. And yes, sir. I got two ballers this week. My first baller is Mr. Ryan Clark. One of the he negotiated the contract back with ESPN, one of the highest paid analysts on the show. I guess they figured out that, Ryan, you have been putting in work, and he has been putting in work, tremendous work. And I am actually proud of Ryan Clark for what he is able to do. Many cannot say that they can go from a football career and transition into a media career and still be at the top of their game. So shout out to Ryan Clark. And as I mentioned earlier, my next baller is going to be Kirk Cousins' agent.
Yeah.
Listen, man, y'all can talk about the number of playoff wins he has. You could talk about the 7-8 and 72 record. It's a team sport. So either way it goes, you gotta realize that sometimes you can't do it by yourself. And I think it was a debate a long time ago. Should Lamar Jackson have an agent? Should he trust his mom? Whatever the case may be. But either way, this is why having an agent and having the right agent for you is so important. This man he's been in the league, 12 years, and has accumulated $330 million.
That is absurd. I couldn't believe that when I read it.
Hey, man,
$330 million.
Yeah.
I call him NBA Kurt, dog.
And this is guaranteed. All this is his. $330 million. That's the fourth highest in the history of the NFL.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, come on, man. That's you got it. So those are my two ballers. Make sure I'm gonna let you run with your baller.
My baller is one Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is so obsessed with winning, and he wants to be the first quarterback in the first team to three-peat. He is restructuring his deal. He's giving back $21.6 million to make sure that they're able to do everything they need to do in free agency. When I hear stuff like this, it takes me back to what everybody was telling us at the Super Bowl, how he is obsessed with the wins, the championships. He don't care about the numbers. He don't care about the money. He wants to one up Brady with these Super Bowl titles. And if we remember how Brady always took less so everybody could do more in the organization, my baller is Patrick Mahomes, man. Shout out to Pat
Hey,
Mahomes.
that's what's up. So why don't they make that top of the headlines and run with that?
Nah, I mean, it ain't sexy.
Yeah, I know.
It ain't
All right,
sexy.
put the ballers in the chat line. We're gonna put them up for you. All right, Bob, do you have a baller for this week?
Well, I got to say at this point, I said it really wasn't prepared, but just going off today, I got to say Calvin Ridley is a baller.
Woo!
$92 million.
Shout out to my boy Slide.
Did not see that coming. Did not see that coming at all. No, I mean, we all know his personal issues and stuff like that. And to be able to come back and have the year he had, great, great, kind of a great comeback story. I mean, he was just really thrown to the side here in Atlanta. They really couldn't keep him here anymore. I mean, it was kind of a raw deal, but but some people, when you get into personal demons like that, you just can't ever recover from them. So shout out to him for getting his meals. I mean, that's again, a lot more than I expected that he was going to get. But I mean, when you find the right team that's desperate for a wide receiver like the Titans were,
they are.
I just saw they also signed Kyle Rudolph tonight too. So, but yeah, I mean, he found the situation that was good for him and proved himself. And so, I mean, that's got to be the definition of a baller right there.
Baller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that he's sort of going back home? Isn't he from the Florida area anyway?
He's from Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of going back home. I got a baller in the chat. I'm hesitant to put this up because I was just on his podcast and we were going back and forth. And Maceo, you already know. Shout out to Maurice, man, for having me on his podcast. And yeah, I had my thoughts on that, and I was gonna put John Shire as a honorable mention buster because the end game coaching, Maceo. Listen, hear me out for 1 second.
Carolina's better, but go ahead. Carolina
in game coaching, yeah, they are better. But in game coaching, there's no way that Mr. Ryan should not ever hit another open three or another three for the whole game period.
Oh, I agree.
You put your, if you're going to take away RJ Davis and you're going to do what you do with Baycott, you put your second best defender on Carmack and say, look, I don't care how quick you can release it. I'm not going to let you get the ball. Period.
I had such a great day Saturday, man. I tell you, man, it was just had a great day, man. I had a great day, man. Anytime Carolina beat Duke, man, it's just I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I figured, and I thought we would go watch the game, but I thought I was gonna hear from you and get.
Yeah, I was nervous. I ain't even lie. I was nervous. So
there you go. Well, at least I got a confession at you.
But, yeah, I mean, I was nervous because it was at Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Again, man, Hubert Davis, man, he can't really coach. But I mean, hey, hats off to them Tar Heels. Ceiling is the roof, baby. Ceiling is the roof.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't do John Shire. Hancock texted me now, say he wanted to get a little juice of this. I didn't go John Shire as my buster, but I am gonna go Jay Billis. And let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. And agree or disagree, it really don't make me never mind. But make sure you know this. And Bob, being in the media, there's no cheering. There's no emphasis on cheering for your team or a team.
Yeah.
That is correct, right?
Yeah.
Did y'all hear Jay Billis say that since Filipowski got 4 fouls, North Carolina should attack him? They need to attack him on the offensive end so they can get him out of the game.
little bit of coaching going on. That's
Hold on now.
there.
Now this is my problem with it. You are telling a strategy on live TV during a rivalry game against the team that you actually went to school.
Amen.
You know, so and now this is my thing. You know, you always say, well, if you got a problem with what he said, then tell me what you think he could have said. Could have said this. Filipowski has 4 fouls, and if Carolina is trying to get him out of the game, if they're trying to, it would be in their best interest to probably get Filipowski one-on-one just to see if he can stay out of foul trouble, if he can not get that last foul.
It don't matter though, because once you're ingrained to hate Duke, you just straight hate them, whether you went to the rivalry school or not. I mean, I have no affiliation with any, and I hate Duke. I mean, I just hate them. I hate winning teams. You know, it's jealousy, Ho. It's just jealousy, man.
I see. Yeah, and I'm almost about to take your confession back.
I mean, yeah, I would rather root for anybody than Duke. But no, I mean, it's, you know, we all know, you know, as people that have dealt with the media before, that, you know, you do got to kind of hide it, you know, a little bit. And I did see, you know, I did hear what you know, what you heard as well. And, you know, I did kind of chuckle knowing that, you know, but I kind of think that it was made in jest because it was the rivalry game. And I think everybody knew that, you know, he went to North Carolina and kind of being that it was the big rivalry. I mean, I think to me that is the big rivalry in college basketball. So, you know, I kind of thought it was maybe a little bit more of a jab than anything, you know, but, you know, could he have said it better? Yeah, of course, you know, but I mean, it was a good strategy. That's what I'd have done. So.
Yeah, but you let the coaches do that. You don't.
Yeah, he was definitely there. Was that's, you know, like I said, I felt like he was coaching that time more than he was announcing. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, Jay, come on. I mean, I'm like, I know he got a phone call from Coach K after that.
Oh, you know he did. You know he did.
Come on. I know Coach K called him right after the game and was like, bro, you need to tone that down on that trying to you know. But either way, that's just, I mean, Jay Billis sometimes seems like he goes out of his way to go against Duke or whatever against Duke, and he has a degree from Duke, so I don't get that. This is what jump started his career, and mainly because he's in the media is because of his Duke affiliation.
Big facts.
So, I mean, let's be real, Jay Billis. Let's not get it twisted. Don't cut the hand to feed you. All right, man. So what you got for your bust?
So I was gonna go a lot of ways with this. I mean, because I was just sitting there like, man, okay, that dude a buster. that was a real buster move right there. Yeah, that's kind of busterish right there too. But said all that to say this. My buster, Dallas Cowboys front office, man. Dallas Cowboys front office.
Oh, my cousin.
We knew he was going to say that.
My cousin, before you got on, asked me. He said, "Does Derrick Jones know that it's free agent season yet?"
Dude, I'm sitting here and I'm like, just ain't gonna make not one move, huh? Not one move. Guys walking out the door, ain't nobody coming in the door. Like, so we just gonna stand pat. We just gonna wait for the draft. That's what we doing. Gotta pay CD. Gotta rework that contract. This what we doing. We ain't got no running back. Pollard out the door. Gallup out the door. This what we doing, Jerry? Is this what we doing? Are you gonna
lose out on Derrick Henry? You lose out on Saquon Barkley.
Are you making a splash? Like, I mean, what are you waiting on, Jerry? I mean,
the only team who lost more than the Seahawks is Dallas. You know, it was just I couldn't believe it. Especially like you said, Pollard. When Pollard went, I was like, "Whoa, who are they going to replace that with?" I mean, you said that he was going to be your guy when you let your other running back go. I was like, "What?" But nothing surprises me anymore with running backs after this last week. If you're a running back, don't think you're going to be anything more than a 2-year rental for anybody.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And a lot of those guys cashed out because the draft so weak for the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys were able to get money, but Jerry Jones didn't give money to nobody. He just let Saquon stay in the division. Derrick Henry bought his second house in Dallas, and you still don't give him a call. Like, he probably stay in the same neighborhood as a few Cowboys. You don't invite him over to the Star, and Buster is to the Jones family, dude. I'm sitting here like,
what we doing?
What I mean, we just gonna stand pat. Oh, okay. Well, don't expect me when you send all these emails about buying this and that. Don't expect me to buy nothing. I'm going on strike again. I'm not buying nothing this year, Dallas Cowboys. Nothing. Can't do it. I'm sick.
Fandom is tough, buddy. It's tough. Especially Dallas fandom. I can't even imagine.
I just want that feeling back one more time. I just want that 1995 feeling.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was able to witness. I was in California when we won it in '92. Was in Atlanta when we won it. Then we was in Arizona. Like that night in Arizona, after we beat the Steelers, I just felt like I was a young gun. I just felt like it was gonna be this way forever, not knowing that day right there will be the last time I would feel that way. They screwed us with the Dez kid. That was a Super Bowl team right there. That was a Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't think I'm ever get that feeling back, and it's painful because I thought it was gonna always be this way. In my 20s, I was like, it's gonna always be this way.
That's how HO and I felt, after the 90s of the Braves, and then having to suffer for mediocrity for so long, to finally be back on the other side. But I mean, for a team like Dallas that you got to witness a dynasty. I mean, a dynasty is you don't know if that's a once in a lifetime type thing, but yeah, once you experience a dynasty, not you feel for it with Chicago Bulls fans. They got to experience a dynasty, and now they ain't seen a winning since then. And so those teams that do those dynasty teams, the San Francisco 49ers, who now finally started to get it back, but they suffer from it too. It's just hard to get it back to the golden age days of a franchise that's so successful, especially with what seems like an owner that's willing to pay to win, but won't get out of his own way for the winning to happen.
All right, we got one more to go, Bob, and this is a boss stop. Something that you just did, something that was so ridiculous that you had to say boss stop.
I got a tie, brother. Tie for first place here. First one, Sean Payton.
Okay.
I done had it with him. Again, obviously I'm a diehard Russell Wilson guy. I always will be. But to treat someone like that, with that amount of disrespect is just unbelievable. I mean,
I agree.
He is a diva. I mean, he, maybe the things that he was given by, prior, Denver management, coaches, stuff like that, but they gave it to him. He, it's not like, he negotiated that. Those were his deals. Sean Payton, I mean, trying to circumvent the rules, which is not surprising because that's his MO in the NFL, and then trying to push him out without taking into account the veterans, that he is a vet of the league. I just thought he was mistreated, and then obviously getting rid of Jerry Jeudy as well. Kind of, he just went in there and he's like, yeah, none of these guys are good enough to play for the Denver Broncos, and that kind of treatment. I just thought it was very disrespectful to a veteran like that. And then because he negotiated that was his deal. You can't be mad when you weren't involved in that kind of negotiation and then try to tear a player down like that because he wouldn't take wouldn't take less money as an injury settlement. It was embarrassing. If I couldn't see any way that made him look good in any way. And then my second is Ben Simmons. I am tired of Ben Simmons. I am sick of Ben Simmons. How does he still play in the NBA? He can't shoot. He's hurt. How is he still employed by the NBA? He is the biggest hustler I've ever seen in sports. I don't know how he does it. I wish he'd tell me. I could literally shoot better than him, and I could play more minutes than him, and I weigh 350 pounds.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Do I need to go in the NBA? What does he bring to an NBA franchise that is anything beneficial to him? Maybe he should be my baller because he's still getting paid by the NBA. It drives me nuts, man. If you ever want to get me on a tangent, have me talk about Ben Simmons. Oh, gosh, it's crazy.
it is. All right, man. I got two boss thoughts myself. The first one is super obvious. Kim Mulkey for the the LSU Tigers, the coach. When you go to the press conference and you have a squabble and you get six players kicked out the game, and you go in and you go in, you want to take full responsibility and all this. Kim Mulkey basically just saying, let's do it again. She a 5-starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so my question is this: look at the leadership ability. Look at the leader of your team creating chaos, stating that I wish he would push. I wish he would have pushed Angel Reese.
Yeah. Well, Angel Reese would have had to been there. Angel Reese walked away, so she couldn't push Angel. Angel Reese couldn't get pushed. Angel Reese walked away.
Yeah, she didn't want that smoke.
Kim Mulkey ain't had control of that team since the beginning of this year. It's just been all a cluster of
all year.
Yeah, all year long. I mean, it started with Angel. It's just gone downhill. Clearly, she has no control over that team. She's just going by, hey, I know they have the the talent to take themselves, far through the tournament. But this has been a weird year for LSU women's basketball. Coming off the year that they had. I don't know. It's one of the least controlled teams I've ever seen, where everybody's just kind of doing their own thing on that team. You just never know what's going to happen in an LSU game when you watch, which then again makes them fun to watch because you do never know what's going to happen. They barely were able to field a roster for the rest of that game. They had no bench. Everybody was gone. That's they almost had to forfeit.
Yeah. And my second one is no other than Mr. Stephen A. Smith making comments about the Kirk Cousins signings. This is my thing, bro. Listen, you're not from Atlanta. You don't live in Atlanta. So please don't comment on what Atlanta sports are doing. Because if you're not here to justify anything that you say or said, then you need to just keep Atlanta out of your mouth.
Straight up.
Because we already, if I see you in the street, I'm gonna have to pull up on you. Anyway, there's one reason why I didn't go to Vegas, Maceo.
Hey.
I didn't have enough. I had enough to get there. I just didn't have my bail money.
Stephen A makes a lot of money to make you feel that way too.
Well, he walking around all them bodyguards he walking around with, so you know what I'm saying. He think you presidential. I don't know.
He's just, I don't know, unwatchable to me some days. Some days I try with him, and then
I don't even try.
Yeah, it's
try.
Well, it's just so blatantly obvious that that's what he's told to do to get paid the money that he gets paid. And, he's a businessman, not a sports analyst, journalist, anything like that. He's a businessman that knows what he got to do to collect that next check. And, and a shout out to him. I mean, he's made a career out of it, being able to argue with the person sitting next to him, and that makes him a lot of money. But some of his hot takes that he tends to argue about just makes so little of sense. And it's like, come on, man, you don't be so obvious that you're an ESPN shill, or even, Fox. I don't know if he was ever, did he go Fox? Is he Fox now, or he
went back to ESPN? He was Fox. He back to
ESPN. Yeah. And so, but yeah, don't be obvious that you're a shill for that network. I mean, that's why ESPN has just changed over the years, because that's what it is. It's just, less sports guys and more shills for the money. And that's why they're broke.
That way.
Exactly. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and jump off into some roundtable discussion as we are about to. Let me find my thing here. There we go. Roundtable discussion. All right, fellas, we're gonna talk about some NFL stuff. The NFL moves that's been made around town. Who is benefiting the most? What surprises you? What has not surprised you? As I pull up the link. First of all, let's start off with the Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Crazy.
Boy.
Crazy.
Y'all thoughts on that real quick?
That's crazy, dude. First, they stayed in the division. Two, it tells me that Philadelphia is going to get back to the foundation, running the football. They are going to, of course, they got the best short yardage football play in the world. But I think now by signing him, they're taking a lot of the pressure off Jalen, because Jalen was such a big part of the run game, and he got banged up a lot. Jalen was hurt pretty much most of the year.
Yep.
And now you bring Saquon in to, hey, you shoulder the load. Now Saquon got to stay healthy, but when healthy, he is a nice addition. I mean, that makes that offense kind of scary, in my opinion. It makes it kind of scary.
He nailed it. I mean, 100%. They don't have very many weaknesses on that team. Everybody dogged on Jalen last year, but he played hurt. He was banged up. He was having to run the ball. Their weakness was a strong running game. I mean, they didn't have a poor running game, but I mean, you could tell that was something that they really needed to improve on. I mean, what an improvement. I mean, I would have considered that to be the best move, had the Ravens not made the move they made. So, right. The strong got that's the key of the offseason. The strong got stronger, the weak got weaker.
Derrick Henry to the Ravens.
Huge.
Made too much sense. He looked like a Raven. He looked like a Raven.
I agree with you. I didn't see that one coming either. I mean, but they're in the same boat. Again, you find a guy like that, now you take the ease off Lamar. I mean, now, can you imagine goal line situations? Last year, it seemed like everybody would stack up because you knew Lamar was going to be that guy to run in. Now you've got Lamar, and you got to worry about the running game now, able to get it in the end zone. There right now, I honestly, Philly and Baltimore is my early Super Bowl pick.
That's sweet. I again, he just looked like a Raven. Him and Lamar running that zone read. Yeah,
it's gonna be
scary.
It's gonna be nasty.
Scary hours.
It's just amazing that these guys are, like I said, that they're just not, that you would have never seen 5-6 years ago. You would never see a running back like those guys being, shipped around to other teams. I mean, those guys were, the lifers of the teams that they were with. I mean, if you'd have told me Derrick Henry was never going to, not going to retire a Titan,
Right, play for
he
another
first
team.
started, yeah, I would have never thought that, But it's just so weird in the last 2 years, just how that's changed the plug and play of the running back system. But the teams that they are able to go to, will utilize their strengths for those 2 or 3 years that they stay with them. I mean, Derrick Henry, like you said, he looks like a Titan. I mean, looks like a Raven, and I agree with you 100%. He is that grinded out, type of Raven, that you expect to see, not flashy, just a gritty, hard down running, power runner, and so that, it seems like the guys that went to the teams they went to, it seems like they really made sense. There was only a few where I was like, really? Why, why do you make that move,
Zach Moss, T. Higgins, Cincinnati.
The T see the writing on the wall, man. Franchising, he only gonna get about 23, 24. He know Jamar gonna get 30. He know Jamar gonna get 30. It's no way Cincinnati gonna sign him to a long-term deal because you can't have two receivers. You can't tie up almost 60, 70 million to the wide receiver position. So T. Higgins is like, bro, let me go on out here and let me go build one somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Jamar, my partner, but I only have a short window to get this money. So T trying to cash out, man. And it's gonna be some teams out there who look at T. Higgins as a number one receiver. I mean, because he really is. If he was anywhere else, probably your one. But I mean, he just played opposite of freaking alpha dog, man. I mean, Jamar is a dog. So I ain't mad at T, man. I ain't mad at T.
You're gonna get tired of being little brother. I mean, he's always gonna be little brother in Cincinnati, and he wants to be big brother somewhere, and prove what he really is. And I agree with you. There's a team that's gonna know his worth, and he's gonna be a number one somewhere, but it's gonna cost. I mean, to get a guy like him, it's not gonna be cheap.
It's gonna cost.
Let's talk about what the Houston Texans has done. Trading for Joe Mixon. And what's their defensive end they just got?
Oh, they picked up
from Minnesota.
Yeah, the Nail Hunter. Yeah,
Hunter and your ball on the other side from Alabama, Will Anderson.
So look at it this way, and we know that the formula is to accumulate as much talent as you can before you have to give C.J. Stroud a big contract. So they are all, as long as C.J. on that rookie deal, they're going to be able to make these kind of moves. They are so ahead of schedule, and now they have bigger dreams. Now they're like, hey, why not us next season? With all these pieces around us, why not us next season? So Houston, until they got to give CJ the $50 million, man, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. I think the Houston Texans has won all season thus far.
But they were already exciting to watch. I mean, the move that I really liked from them was Daniel Hunter. I mean, that was really, really helped them shore up the defensive inside of the thing. But I mean, you have a head coach there that is fun to play for. People already are talking about how they want to go to Texas and play for this, play for him. Then you have a quarterback who, in his rookie years showed that he belonged in the NFL, So, and that's the thing, that team is so youthful and there's so much time to grow that, they're still a couple of years away from really being, a good team. Get some experience on that team, and we may be talking about, a team that wins a couple of Super Bowls within this time period. The health, obviously, CJ is going to be the big thing. You keep him healthy, and that team just is scary good. I really like them. and they seem to have an owner that's willing to spend now. It seemed like that really held them back a lot. Was that they were kind of in the middle of, do we want to be good, or are we just an average team in the AFC? But ownership really has bought into. Hey, we've got a group here. We've utilized the draft picks that we've gotten from having such poor seasons. And that's the main thing. When you're a mid team like that, you got to hit. And when you draft, if you hit on draft picks, I mean, as a Seahawk fan, the years that we won, it's because we hit every single draft pick, and it wasn't the number one guys. I mean, CJ was just a piece of the puzzle, but when you hit on the second, third, fourth rounders just as much as you hit on the first rounders, and what makes you a successful franchise, not just a one and done or a quarterback with no protection, those type of things. Yeah, the moves that they've made, like you said, where you won the offseason. I mean, you throw in Patrick Queen, and then you shore up the running game. Yeah, they are definitely up there for winners of the offseason for sure. I mean, they had a very good offseason.
The Saquon to the Eagles, putting them back in the NFC Championship game automatically.
I'm not gonna say automatically, because we got to see can Jalen get back on track. Getting Saquon helps. Now what do they do? The defense. I mean, Fletcher Cox retiring. As a Cowboy fan, you gotta love that, because that guy tortured us every year. Listen, when I got that news, bruh, I was super happy.
First ballot Hall of Famer. I mean,
without a doubt,
one
man.
of the best there is. So hey, as a division rival, anytime a first ballot Hall of Famer isn't going to play, but that's the thing with the Eagles. They've lost a couple of huge veteran pieces to retirement. And you don't know how that's going to affect a team when you lose locker room voices. With Jason and Fletcher, that's, who knows how that's going to affect them. I mean, we're not talking about small pieces on that team. I mean, we're talking about two established vets, both probably Hall of Famers. I would say Jason probably has the numbers to be a Hall of Famer, and obviously we know Fletcher's first ballot. So, that's something that you don't really see until you see the on-field product. But yeah, you got to keep Jalen healthy if they're gonna go back.
Is Justin Fields still a starter in this league, or is he now backup?
He clearly backup. The market out there has pretty much said that he is a backup. It was no market for him. I tried to tell people this for a month now. If Chicago could have got assets for him, I mean, somebody would have moved on him. I mean, think about this. Sam freaking Darnold got signed. Nobody sees Justin as a starting quarterback right now. And again, because we know Chicago is taking Caleb Williams as a other GM of another team, why would I give you anything for Justin when you're gonna have to release him? You're not keeping him. So, dude, I'm just gonna lay in the cut. I'm gonna pick him up, and then we're gonna see where we go. Now, I'm not trying to give him this fifth-year option. I'm not trying to get down. Why I'm a trade and have that on my hands? Now, Chicago, do my dirty work, and then let me pick him up and go from there.
Is he a starter this year? No. Is he a starter down the line? Maybe. I mean, there was four teams that I had seen that might be a possibility for him. One was the Vegas Raiders. And then New Orleans. New York Jets. It was sit behind Aaron Rodgers before he decides to become the vice president of the United States. And then and then maybe the New York Giants, who seem to be ready to move on, but Pittsburgh was the other team that I kind of thought, have him trade for him and then have him sit behind Russell for a year and then because it seems like they're off the Kenny Pickett train already. So, that's just it. The team list for something, somewhere like him to become a starter is thin. I mean, there's not a lot of teams anymore that have that need, to find a starting quarterback that either don't have a high draft pick this year, or they're going to get that guy that they're going to develop themselves. But yeah, I don't know. It seemed like Chicago picked a really, really bad year to want to try and play that game when it's obvious that you're going to draft a quarterback with your pick at number 1.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it is.
Right.
That is.
I ain't doing your dirty work. You do it.
Your thoughts on real quick, Jameis to Cleveland, backing up Deshaun Watson.
I love it. Jameis my guy. You know, I just love me some Jameis Winston, man. I hate that people are still bringing up the 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. In my heart of hearts, I believe that New Orleans team would have been much better with Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback, but they gave Derek Carr the loop. So, I mean, I understand that. The good news for Jameis, he's going to a spot where it seems that Deshaun just can't stay healthy, man. It's just, and I hate this for Deshaun. I mean, I am a DW4 guy. And Cleveland, with Deshaun counting 62 million against salary cap this year, and they can't do nothing about it. They need Deshaun to play like he played before he started getting massages. That's what they need. Because at 62 million and you can't get off that contract, dude, they need Deshaun to be a baller now.
Yeah, if they're going to stay competitive in the league, I mean, Cleveland's got to have a good bet, affordable quarterback. Like you said, they've got so much committed to that position.
Woo.
They can't go and get anybody high, super high dollar to coming back up. He's that. I mean, of the spots of people to go, I mean, that's the most obvious logical choice that Cleveland would pick him. I agree with everything you say. That's the best spot for him, because you really can't fully trust that Watson stays healthy there. And then, so you need a guy that's just able to pick it up right up. That's not, not going to cost you, not going to cost you a bunch of weeks and losses, stuff like that. Is he the full-time answer? I don't know anymore. He probably not, but I mean, he's a very, very capable backup. I mean, it's not one team's going to come calling for his services type thing. There's a lot of teams that would be interested in bringing a vet in like him. He's very capable of picking up a team and getting you wins if you need them. He's just not, he's not that guy, and he's never, those days are done for him. But like I said, I've seen far, far worse as backups in the NFL, and he's not even close to being on that list. So yeah. But I mean, he was a smart guy last year when he decided to call his own plays at the end of that Saints game, knowing that he wanted his way out of New Orleans. And what better way to do that than, pretty much turn everybody on your head coach and, see your way out to maybe a better situation. So, we're going to work out in his favor.
I was talking to somebody today, and I was just like, I think people forget Jameis was the number 1 overall draft pick.
Yeah.
In the NFL draft. And look where we at now. Crazy.
And deservingly so. I mean, he was I think he was the best quarterback option. I mean, people were so gung-ho on Marcus Mariota that year, where, Pac-12 quarterbacking is a different breed. There's the offensive numbers are always going to be there for a Pac-12 quarterback, but they don't see a good defense that goes against them. So you're never feeling rushed. You've got all day in the pocket. That's why whoever drafts Bo Nix better know that they ain't seen, he ain't seen a defense that's really pressured him into, in the last couple of years. And so he's got the numbers that, hey man, this guy's amazing, but what's going to happen when a defense bull rushes him every single play, and then he panics and don't know what to do? Obviously I'm a Pac-12 guy. I'm the biggest Michael Penix Jr. fan in the world, but again, I wouldn't trust a Pac-12 quarterback if I was drafting high in the draft.
All right, so real quick, let's talk about how Luca been standing on business. Bob, you had talked about the Luca reference early in the show.
Mhm.
7 straight triple doubles as Luca and Dallas has been on a winning streak, and clearly he's been playing his best basketball. And Hancock sent me a question, wanted me to answer this. Who is harder to guard right now, Luca or MJ back in the day? So I'm gonna throw that. I'm gonna let y'all talk about Luca standing on business, and you can talk about the question if y'all can.
Well, I don't answer no Jordan questions. I don't
Yeah,
get no Jordan questions, but yeah, Luca that did. I mean, we know Luca ain't gonna play no defense. You saw that little defense he was doing down there on that 3-on-1 break.
right.
But Luca is a bucket getter, man, and he can do it for however you want it. What you want? Post you up, got you.
Yeah, however you want.
Izzy, how you want it? 3-ball, man. Luca. What in baseball we call those guys 5-tool players. Luca, Luca 4-tool because he'll play defense. So Luca 4-tool, man. He's a 4-tool player for sure, man.
But he's the absolute best of the new generation of the no defense NBA. I mean, their defense just don't happen in the NBA no more. It's just it's pretty much just a half a year of the NBA All-Star game, but being played in your home city. So that's he is such a polished player. I mean, that a lot of that is playing overseas benefits anybody. I mean, when you play that style of ball, and it appears that the ball handling skills were so well polished before he ever stepped foot on an NBA court. And you see that with him. I mean, his ball handling skills, his shooting, his touch. To compare him to Michael Jordan, I mean, Michael Jordan, that it was a different era, different defense. I mean, defense was that's Jordan was so good because he scored and he got those numbers on some of the toughest defenses that the NBA had ever seen. I mean, playing against the Pistons, playing against the Lakers, those the numbers that he got. Who are we to know what Michael Jordan would put up now in the soft league? It's all, that's why it's so hard to compare, because how do you think Ho, how do you think Luka would do if he was playing in the MJ era?
It'll be rough for Luca. Tony Kukoc got a little taste of that over in the Olympics. So,
yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
It'll be tough.
Mm-hmm.
So different eras. It's kind of hard. It's tough. I think Jordan would average 37 with hand checking.
I mean, could you imagine how many triple doubles Jordan would have, and especially this year? This year is is a joke of a defensive year. I mean, this is the first year where I ever thought nobody should win Defensive Player of the Year because just nobody plays defense.
Right.
I look at the box score every single day in the NBA, and all I see is 140, 140, 140, 140, 140.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's dropping a 140 bomb every single night in the NBA. And man, I'm pushing 46 years old, and now I'm starting to sound like Hancock. I miss the old days of basketball. I miss those 90 to 80 games where you never knew that possession if someone's going to lock down and not going to happen. And so I do miss those days. But Luka's a generational talent. I mean, he's a guy that we'll talk about for a long time. I mean, he's just that guy. I mean, I'm a big Trey guy. I love Trey. Man, I would love to see what Luka could have done here in Atlanta. I mean, it was the right Trey was the right pick for the Falcons. I mean, for the Hawks. I mean, he was the right pick for the Hawks in this city and all that. And if his dad was to hear this, his dad would kill me on Twitter. So, but for saying this, but I would have liked to see what Luka could have brought in there, and and to see how the Hawks would have been, if it would have changed the franchise around. But Luka's biggest thing is they just gotta get guys around him. I mean, as good as he is, Dallas just has never been that contending team with him there because they've never found the right people to play around him. And that says a lot too about him. That is he a hard guy to play with? Jordan was able to ball with anybody and win championships. I mean, Scotty obviously helped, a lot. Those championships were won when Scotty was there with him, but I saw him, win with, with people. You saw LeBron able to win with people. Luka hasn't won with nobody.
Yeah, Maceo got a message for you.
If that's that Cat Williams joke, I've been getting it all day, so miss me with it. Everybody, hey, the Cowboys signed Cat Williams, man. Cowboy, who we signed? We ain't signed nobody.
I did see a actual signing when I was looking here.
I done cut all my Cowboy notifications off.
The Cowboys signed Kendricks.
The receiver.
No, Eric Kendricks.
Running back.
Is that running back? Nope. Defensive linebacker Eric Kendricks.
No.
Spurned the Niners for the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
So yeah, that's your big sign. A 9-year vet.
Boo.
Well, now you know that Jerry Jones' no free agency is now alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably not going to win you any games.
Nah.
No.
As the kids say, on God. I'm not excited at all.
It's the dark days, buddy. Let me tell you. I feel you. It's the dark days in Seattle too.
let me pack up all this Cowboy stuff tonight. I was gonna wear a Cowboy shirt tomorrow. Forget about it. Forget about it.
I'm about to go to the store. About to go to the store and start buying this Falcons gear because now I'm almost more excited about the Falcons now than I am about the Seahawks.
All right, question of the day, fellas. The top ranked gangster movie in your opinion? They rank the top 3.
Oh, come on, man! Top for me,
you got Goodfellas, you got Heat, you got Godfather 1, 2.
For me, off top is Casino.
Okay.
Casino is my joint. If I don't care if I flip a chat, if Casino on, I'm stopping.
Casino, okay.
Casino for me is 1. Goodfellas is 2. Because Goodfellas always stop me in my tracks. And of course, man, you gotta go with the hood classic Scarface, man. They're my top 3.
Top 3. All right, Bob, what you got? Top 3 gangster.
Number 1 for me is The Departed.
Woo!
I watched that movie 100 times, and I got to rewatch it again because I know I missed something that's insane. I mean, the ending, the last 15 minutes to The Departed. If you what? Then you're not a movie fan. So Departed number 1, Casino easy number 2. That movie is awesome. I mean, and then I'm an old school. I like Godfather, so I've always been a fan of the Godfather. So I put that number 3.
Look what Josh put in the chat.
Menace to Society.
I like that movie too. I like that soundtrack. That's one of my all-time favorite soundtracks. So good movie too.
Yeah, I don't think we talking about the hood classic being all right, here we go. Dez got something in there. Bronx Tales.
Yeah, it's kind of brought to kind of love story. It's kind of love story.
Kind of a love story.
I'm taking New Jack City before I take a Bronx Tale. Yeah, nah, Bronx Tale kind of love story.
Okay. Tevin said, "See how movie taken."
Gangster flick.
That's reaching.
That's reaching.
Yeah, it's all right. It's
Yeah, that's almost like Dead President.
Yeah, that shootout with Chris Brown and Michael Ealy. I wasn't feeling it at the club. I
Mhm.
wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Maceo. I'm going Goodfellas, Casino, and then Scarface.
Goodfellas so raw, man. Goodfellas so raw. Another not really a gangster flick, but a movie that I will watch over and over again. Blow.
that's a fantastic movie.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, Blow.
Oh, Cub made a good point. He got some good Kings of New York, Heat, and New York City. Okay, I can rock with that.
That's
I
pretty
can
good
rock
flicks
with
too.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
King of New York. I don't have to have King of New York. I watch it, but I ain't gotta have it. I ain't gotta have it.
Dez confirms it. He said yes, them three. Cool.
Yeah, like I say, if Casino or Goodfellas come on, dude, like I say, I don't care what part is on. If I'm flipping the
Yep.
channel,
You sit down
Yeah.
and you watch it. You
I'm
and you
done.
got to finish it.
I'm
I
done
mean, you
for the
can't
day.
just glance at it. No, you but sitting in the seat,
Yeah,
even though you know what's going to happen over and over again, and you got to watch the whole entire movie. I hate when that stuff comes on a Saturday, and I got my whole day planned. That movie
Yeah.
comes on, and then I blow. Because it's not like it's just an hour 45.
Yeah.
Casino. You 3 hours invested in that movie.
I can't tell you how many times Casino has stopped me from doing yard work on the weekend.
Yeah.
Tell you a number of times.
Yeah. You tell your dad to grab a beer and sit down and join you.
Man, it's crazy.
Right. All right. Normally I would tell a joke during the week, but I don't have a joke this week. But I do have a riddle. I do have a riddle, so put your thinking caps on. This is how we're gonna end the show tonight. So I got a riddle for you. So put your thinking cap on and turn off your Google searches. All right. If you have 30 cows, 28 chickens, how many didn't?
How many didn't?
Yeah. It's a math joke, so you should get it, Bob.
Wait a minute. Say it one more
30
time.
cows, 28 chickens. How many didn't? And before you ask me how many didn't how many didn't this, whatever the case may be, just use your math knowledge to try to figure it out. Anybody in the chat who want to guess, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm stuck because you would naturally say just by the process of elimination, you'll say 2.
Okay.
Just because of 30 and 28, you'll be like 2.
30 chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens, 20. Why you gotta make me think? This is supposed to be sports chat.
Yeah, it is, but I think our sports thing is one of the ones where it's thought-provoking sports.
28 cows.
30 chickens, 28. Yeah. 30 cows, 28 chickens.
Oh man.
All right, Dez in the chat got an answer, and I'm not gonna say if he right or wrong, but I'm gonna wait till y'all.
Show me the answer.
No, I can't show you his answer. I can't show it to you yet. But y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna be mad at me when you figure it out.
30 cows and 28 chickens.
But this is the thing. You can't say you can't fill in no more because you're mad at me because of the riddle.
So 30 cows, 28 chickens. 28. So did the cows eat the chickens? 28 the chickens? 20.
If he ate it, if he did eat
So
it, then
30
it was
cows ate 20, and
Nigga, bro.
20 of the cows ate chickens. So it was 10? 10 cows? Yeah.
There's the answer right there.
28 chickens. Yeah. That's
Man, I'm going to bed.
I think Dez right. I'm going with Dez here. I think 10 is the number now.
Hey, 28 ATE8, not the number 8. 28 chickens.
I never heard that. I'm surprised. Normally these I've heard these.
I'm going to bed, y'all. Good night. That stopped me. I'm going to bed.
Hey, make sure that'll be good for you girls to make them think.
Yeah, I'm going to bed. The answer is 10.
The answer is 10.
Man, let me sit.
30 cows, 20 of them ate chickens. How many did?
Hey man,
got it. That's what the answer is. 10.
Great show. I'm going to bed. Y'all
Yeah,
got me
man.
up past my bedtime.
Yes, sir, man. Go ahead and shout out to everybody what y'all will be doing tomorrow.
Man, hey, the Crush Sports Talk, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Emmanuel Glaze, he has been off social media for 2 days. He finally is gonna break his Kirk Cousins silence. So that's gonna be interesting because I know he didn't want Kirk Cousins. So maybe he had a change of heart. But 7 p.m. tomorrow, check us out, y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, Bob. Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me at Bowling Bob. I just want to shout out though. Appreciate y'all letting me in. I mean, you guys are two of my favorites. I mean, I obviously we've been really good friends forever. HO and then Maceo, one of my favorites. You know, I listen to his show all the time as well. But I just want to say real quick, buy HO's book. I got it. I read it every day. So it's a good read.
Give me your 3 favorite quotes.
Well, I don't know my heart. I have to get them by the book, and my book is by my bed. I read it before I go to bed. So, but I always tell my wife, I said we got to go have some shrimp at the Big Easy so you can sign my book.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think it's a game changer. It's something that really makes you thought provoke, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. Like I said, I love reading it before bed because it kind of clears my mind and starts me off fresh for a new day the next day.
There you go, man. I sure appreciate it, Bob. Mm-hmm. And listen, man, sometimes I may have to call you and let you just fill in for the whole show and not just the Braves report.
If I get to work with you two and I get to work with Hancock, you guys have done a lot for me in this business, so I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. I appreciate it, man. And we for all the people, my shouts out, all the people who continue to tune in. Thanks to Smitty. Thanks to Smitty, all the Smitty people. Thanks to everybody who continue to tune in and rock and roll with us, man. We really appreciate it. And we're going to holler at y'all next week. SRT, and we out. Peace.